The whole wide world will welcome the rising sun. Here comes the time for everyone to see that what will be, will be. This is the time for you and I to stand together as one. Yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. We spent our lives in pain and misery. Never gonna trade our freedom with any mystery. It's affecting our soul and it's killing us slow. With what we've been through, we are far from being good. But we are blessed by Chukwu Biafra. So we're never gonna give up. We're never gonna give up. There'll be light in the wind of a tunnel. It will shine so bright all time. The whole wide world will embrace us. Nobody can stop us, nobody can cage us, nobody can stand us, yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. The windows and curtains, green lights be revealing. When I think about how blessed we are, goosebumps all over my body. Sunrise to the black stripe, black strands crossing grey stripes. Clashes upon clashes, many lives turn to ashes. When I ponder and reminisce, the actions I see malice. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. We go carry the cross together. We walk through to Zion. We stumble, we rise. How the victory was done. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? I still wave your flag all over the world. Because the sun is rising. I see we shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. They will know, they will know, they will know. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Oh, wave your flag anywhere you are. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Freedom, freedom, yeah. The sun, we are rising.
Good morning and welcome to Biafra Television Europe. I am Mother Jovista Chichi, and if this is your first time of joining us on BTV, you are welcome. This morning, we are going to take a look at the criminal connections between Nigerian government and the US aid. How these people has been operating under the nose of Nigerian government. We know that for about 5 days to 1 week now, the social media has been on fire. Immediately, the congressman, Scott Perry, accused US aides for sponsoring Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, and other terrorist groups. So many people has come up talking, and we know that before this time there has been so many accusations against prominent people in the government that they are the sponsors of the terrorists in Nigeria. But before we get to that, let's take a press release. IPOB press release of 18th of January, February 2025. Justice Bintan Yako remains recused for our leader's case, IPOB. It has come to the attention of the noble family of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, as a shock that those charged with safeguarding the integrity of what is left of the judiciary in Nigeria are the very people doing their damnedest to destroy whatever lingering shred of integrity the judiciary may have left. It is mind blowing that a sitting High Court judge, the the chief judge of the Federation of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, and the chairman of the body of benchers of Nigeria, amongst themselves, cannot fathom that a subsisting court order, a cancelling judgment, for that matter, cannot be set aside, even on appeal, without first obtaining the leave of the trial courts. This is nursery school law that doesn't require detailed explanation. The fact that a whole chief judge of the Federal High Court of Nigeria brazenly disregarded a valid order of court without first setting aside the order through a legally valid due process is is indicative of the chaos and poor knowledge of the law that fuel the epidemic of state-sponsored judicial banditry in Nigeria. It is scandalous that up till now, 7 days after such show of shame, leading lights within the legal profession have not called for a public independent inquiry into the circumstances surrounding such blatant and shameless attempts to subvert the cause of justice in full view of the world. For the avoidance of doubt, we wish to place it on record that it was the Supreme Court of Nigeria, the highest court in the land, in a judgment that determined that the impartiality of Justice Binta Nyako is suspect. This formed the basis of her recusal, which she did not contest. She entered an order of court, which is law, that she would no longer preside over the case of her leader Onyenu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, while Chief Judge John Soho decided on his own to ignore a ruling made by highest courts, that is the Supreme Court. A subsitting court order recusing Justice Bintan Yako and a key section of the law that governs the conduct of judges is a question only John Soho can answer. But at least this episode has exposed the rot and decay at the very heart of judiciary, especially in Abuja, where the government, it seems, would do any and everything to subvert the rule of law. That a judge can sit without jurisdiction and purpose to adjourn a case indefinitely, which by law she is not allowed to do, is indicative that the rule of law has been destined for rule of impunity. One would have expected the chairman of the body of benchers to point out the blatant illegality of the reassigning of a case file to a judge who stand rescued by virtue of a court order, or intervene and call both the Chief Justice and the Binta Nyako to order. He failed to do any of the above, but instead actively participated in the rape of justice for reasons best known to him. One thing is certain: this impunity will not stand because common law, which is what Nigeria practices, are predicated on common sense, and it is a notorious fact that no judge can sit in judgment over his own case. Therefore, asking Binta Nyako to review her own order of recusal without following due process of law is dead on arrival. Binta Nyako's order of recusal, in conjunction with Supreme Court's decision on the issue of her issue of her bias against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and key provisional of the National Judiciary, pardon please, Binta Nyako's order of recusal, in conjunction with Supreme Court decision on the issue of her bias against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the key provision of the National Judicial Policy, especially Section 1C, is enough to deny Binta Nyako jurisdiction to preside over this matter. This press release was written and signed by Comrade Emma Powerful, the IPOB Media and Publicity Secretary. I still remain Wada Jovista Chichi, and once again, I welcome you to this noble platform, Biafra Television. As you join us to see how Nigerian government is being linked to all the menace of Boko Haram and all the terrorists or terrorism that has taken place in Nigeria. We can see that it was last week that the congressman, a Republican and a politician, Scott Perry, raised alarm that USAID sponsors terrorism in some countries, which Nigeria is among the countries that they are sponsoring. Now, if you check some of the countries that the USAID has been sponsoring, claiming to be NGO or to lift poverty in countries. When you check at on the activities, you will see that the primary aim of that the primary aim does not meet up with the findings of the new US current administration, and that is why they raised alarm. If you check some countries that they have been sponsoring, they have sponsored countries like Ukraine, countries like uh, Ethiopia, Somalia, DR Congo, Syria. Nigeria, of course, is one of them, Yemen, and South Sudan. Now, when you check these countries, you can see that none of these countries is at peace. people are killing, or terrorists have taken over in disguise, because most of the supporters or their government authorities, either they are supporters or sponsors, or they are members of the terrorist groups that are causing menace in their country. And they have a target. What is their target? The resources in that country. Now, if you listen to some personalities that have spoken or that have laid allegations about those who have been sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Now, we want to connect the dots. We want to connect the dots and let us see the links, how they interwoven with each other, and if there is evidence of truth in what they are saying. Because the surprising thing is that in all these things, Nigerian government has never stood up to begin to carry out her investigation about all these allegations and accusations from left, right, and center. We've watched the video of the media shot of Goodluck Jonathan after the 20 uh, uh, 15 election, how Boko Haram sponsorship was linked to Obama, how it was linked to the kidnap or abduction of Chibok girls, how it was used to truncate good luck the election just to oust Goodluck Jonathan. And also, we have also listened to accusations of other prominent politicians like Oshomole, and also, would I say, confessions of Nigerian army. But before maybe we can play some of the voices, but before we do that, let's go back to 2014 and 2015 when Nuhu Ribadu was the EFC chairman. Nuhu Ribadu allegedly wrote something about Buhari and El Rufai, yeah, Buhari, El Rufai, and terrorism, because they carried out, as a EFCC chairman, they carried out investigation allegedly, and he came up with what he wrote by saying that uh, the bandits, that these bandits were neither Boko Haram nor herdsmen. He said that these were mercenaries created by Buhari to boot Jonathan from coming back as incumbent president. He said that the whole thing started when Buhari, the former president, when he assembled his ardent supporters, his promoters, and the strategists, just for a way or to mark out strategy how to outsmart Goodluck Jonathan from coming back. And he said that there are the prominent people among those people that Buhari assembled were El-Rufai and Dambazo. He was a retired general, that they were among these people. And now they reached that a decision was now made to reach out to the Cattle Breeders Association, that's the Métis Allah. They reached out to them, and their national chairman was now engaged to bring in mercenaries. And he wrote that in less than 1 month, the more than 2,000 Fulani fighters were brought in by the Métis Allah chairman, that they trooped in from Mali, from Burkina Faso, from Chad, from Senegal, from Niger. They trooped in. And he said after a while, they increased to about 4,000 fighters. And on their arrival, these fighters were assembled in Kaduna State. Remember that Kaduna State, that El-Rufai was then the governor of Kaduna State, that they assembled them in Kaduna State, and they were addressed that even the leaders, the northern leaders, and even the Sultan of Sokoto, that they all used to come to Kaduna to address the mercenaries that arrived. And he said that Buhari told them that Nigeria was handed over to them by the British, that they are not going to leave this Nigeria for another person. And you also remember what um, their premier told them back then in 1961, because that was what Buhari was trying to fulfill. When he told them that the new nation called Nigeria should be the estate of their great grandfather Usman Danfodio, and that they must fight ruthlessly to prevent a change of power. That they are going to use the Hausa minorities, and also to use the South as a conquered territory, and they should never allow us to have or to determine our own future. And according to El-Rufai, this was what the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, told the fighters when they arrived in Kaduna. Now, after that, they were sent to different camps. Some were sent to Ekiti, some were sent to Castena, some were remained in Kaduna there. Some were sent to Zamfara, and some were sent to Borno State. And he said that these people, they gave them pickup trucks, they gave them generators, and they supplied them with all essential materials that they may need for their training, and they were also armed. And he said that these people were being trained, and also that Buhari told them that the Nigerian army was behind them. They trained these men, and they kept supplying them with all the essential needs that they may need. Now, after the election, Jonathan did not win the election because, according to Nuhu Buhari, allegedly, he said that Buhari told the mercenaries that should Jonathan win this election, that you fight until they take over. So after the election, Jonathan didn't win, evidently as expected. Now, what happened? Now, contrary to the expectations of these missionaries, they were now abandoned. They were neither sent back nor being taken care of. Now, the relationship between El Rufai, Mieti Allah, and Dambazo now dropped, because Dambazo and Mieti Allah kept calling on El Rufai to continue taking care of these mercenaries that they brought in. But just like Nuhu Rubadu said to the Canadian visa authorities that they should go to hell, Buhari told them to go to hell. He abandoned them, so he wasn't supplying materials to them any longer. He abandoned them. All the efforts made by Mieti Allah and Dambazo to get into talks with El Rufai fell on deaf ears. And now what happened? That these fighters, first of all, they now carry out killings in Kaduna as a warning to El Rufai. Now, after which, they now came to negotiation, and the cattle breeders, that's the Mieti Allah, returned back to the government and said that they needed 150 billion naira to settle those mercenaries so that they can return them to where they were coming back, to where they came from. And the CBN governor, I think that was Emefiele, he was able to raise 100 billion. But you know what? The mercenaries didn't go back. They remained in the north. What they now did was they now vacated their camps. They departed the camps, and they went away looking for their own food. That was when they started moving into the villages, killing people, moving into farms, destroying people's farms, killing people. And according to El Rufai, allegedly, he said that was when they were giving this name bandits to differentiate them from Boko Haram and the terrorist herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen. He said that was why they were given that name. And now, all we are trying to do is to just to connect the dots from what the congressman said. Now, El-Rufai, even now, El-Rufai, Nuhu Ribadu is denying this write-up that he never did. There have been so many accusations against Nuhu Ribadu. Now, he's the current national security advisor, because he wants to serve under the administration of um, Jagaban. He denied so many accusations and allegations. Even there are some allegations against him now by El-Rufai. He accused El-Rufai then, and now El-Rufai is now accusing him how he called Tinubu corrupt leader, and now he's back to serve under the same administration, but he is denying all the accusations. Now, link what El-Rufai allegedly wrote to what the chief defense officer said. There was a program that I did that I just played a little part of what I wanted to say, but this time I think I have to play out that conversation, or that was a media chat with Al Jazeera. I think I have to play what the CDS said, or I mean the CDF, because we will continue connecting the dots until Nigerian government will show us their investigations about all these accusations and counter accusations. Let's listen to this.
Where anybody will wake up and say that we're killing people when we're actually not doing the same. And guess what? Where you're the Biafrans you were talking about, we have all humanitarian agencies working there. You have UN working, local and international organizations are working. Are we saying they are complicit? There is nothing we're doing in the back. So if they don't say it, which means Amnesty International is equal, and Amnesty is equally there. So which means they're equally accusing all these other organizations of being complicit. So just to be clear, you've been prepared to go to the ICJ in The Hague and answer these accusations? We're not scared of anything because we don't have anything of such. We've seen Boko Haram regroup, and regroup. What is your answer to that? That you have in some way fed the insurgents? The problem is that I think we've talked to international community. Let's find out the funding. When they started surrendering, by the time we left, so as we speak, we have over 120,000 that have surrendered. Most of them, when you find them, they are coming with hard currencies. How did they get them? How are they funded? How did they get the training? How did they get the equipment? What is your suspicion? Well, maybe an international conspiracy. You don't know. Who knows? How are they be able to sustain themselves for 15 years? That is one question I think everybody should ask himself. For Nigeria to be able to hold them, and you go to Nigeria, everything seems to be working well. You must have an idea. I mean, let's not talk about international conspiracy theories. Let's give some hard facts. Well, I just leave it at that. I mean, I'm sure they know, and I'm sure everybody knows that these are the challenges we're facing that needs to be addressed. So the UN need to come in to ensure that, because we need to trace the funding. How are they sustaining themselves for 15 years? What does the UN coming in mean? What does that look like? Track the funding. It's international flow. We don't.
I will continue playing the voice, but we had the army chief saying that there may be international conspiracy. Now, does it mean that Jonathan Goodluck was right? Does it mean that Nuhu Ribadu was right? And if the army chief is telling us that there may be conspiracy and there may be investigations. Who will do the investigation? Is it a layman? I mean, who are to carry out these investigations? How can a security officer be telling the citizens that there may be, that you don't know where it is coming from? So, what is your job as a security officer? What is your job? Remember that in that Nuhuru Badu's write-up, he said that about 4,000 fighters were stationed at border, that they were stationed there. So, where are the army that's supposed to be at the territory where mercenaries took over? And now the army chief is explaining to the populace that he does not know how and who is involved in the conspiracy. And where are Nigerian journalists who are quick to write proscribed IPOB, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra? Where are the investigative officers who are supposed to carry out this investigation if these accused authorities were not involved? How can a security man you placed at your gate will sit in the gate and be telling you that, oh, I'm just seated here. I heard that the criminals entered your house. So maybe is somebody that they collaborated with somebody, and maybe someone will do the investigation to know how the criminals or the thieves entered your house. And this is the security man that you placed before your gate. Let's continue to listen. Let's know who is playing who. And let's know if the congressman is lying.
Have control over that. Whose interest is it to see Nigeria destabilized?
Okay.
Well, I did that.
Let's hear the question
UN
again.
coming in me? What does that look like?
I want to take it back a little bit.
Challenges we're facing that needs to be addressed. So the UN need to come in to ensure that, because we need to trace the funding. How are they sustaining themselves for 15 years? What does the UN coming in mean? What does that look like? Trace, track the funding. It's international flow. We don't have control over that. Who is it?
You heard him. He said, the host asked him, who do you say that will come in? He said, UN. He said, because the conspiracy is international, that he doesn't know who is behind the funding. And you say that the host was amazed at what chief security officer was saying, or defense officer, or whatever, however he wants to be addressed, or he's being addressed. Because he can't fathom.
Interest is it to see Nigeria?
He can't, believe what the chief defense officer was telling him. That was why he asked him again. It's not that he didn't hear him. He heard him very clearly. But he wants to throw the shame to his face by asking him to repeat himself.
This time around. Well, I don't know. You don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah.
You see it? You don't know. Who are those that are destabilizing Nigeria? And the defense officer said he does not know. So, am I the one who we know? Is it a common villager who we know? Is it the market woman who we know? Is it the teacher in the school who we know? Is it the civil servant that we know? Terrible things.
NGOs, there are so many things. If we want to go into NGO issues, there are so many things I had. Initially, when the NGOs came in, when we started, they didn't want any oversight function. They didn't want us to know where they were going to. We had issues with that because now
This is somebody coming into your territory, and the person gets to your territory, and you ask the person, where are you going? And the person did not want to tell you where he or she is going. And you're a security man, and you just allow the person, okay, since you don't want to tell me, you are free to go. Let's relate it to what is going on presently in Niger Republic. Now they are rejecting ECOWAS passport because they have withdrawn from ECOWAS. And the immigration officers are there, the custom controllers are there, the defense are there, and a stranger gets to the territory and you just walk past because you don't want to tell let me use the word gatekeeper. You don't want to tell the gatekeeper where you are going to, and he will just allow you. So what are you doing there? As a defense man, as a security man? And why is it that you are not fired if there is no conspiracy between the army, the defense staff, the authority? If there is no conspiracy amongst them, why should they allow you to go? There is something that these people are not telling us. All they do is to accuse, and they will say there are people, there are persons, there is body sponsoring, supporting. Mention the people you don't want to mention them. Fire the defense staff, you cannot fire him. Ask them to resign, they cannot resign. Apprehend the culprit, you cannot do that. But you will come and sit down to tell us that there are people. Let's continue listening.
Of the terrorists and go and treat them. You are treating the same people that is attacking the communities. You tell them no, that you are neutral. How neutral can you be? We've had situations where allegations of arms, them conveying arms to us just to make sure that the war continues.
This is Chief Defense Staff saying this. They conveying arms, which they don't know where the arms were coming from. And you are not doing anything about it. You are not doing anything about it. And you are still claiming to be Chief Defense Staff. And you see all these things. Yet you are expecting the market woman to go and carry out the investigations and know where those arms were coming from and where they are being taken to. Let's
Situations where
continue.
they will tell you they are taking food to communities. Halfway, tell you the trailer has broken down. By next morning, the trailer is empty. And that vehicle that is broken down, the driver will just go and drive it and take it back. So what had happened?
You see these people, you see their mess. Now, these people will come with trucks, full loaded truck. Now, it means that the defense, the army, do not investigate what comes into the country. They will, I don't understand if this chief of defense staff, if he had ever sit down to listen to himself. Now these people will come, they will spend all night, because according to him, that they will tell you that the truck broke down, and they will remain there. Then the next morning, the truck will be empty. CDS, are you listening? Have you ever listened to yourself? Have you ever sat down to listen to yourself? So you will see this truck that is fully loaded, and they will tell you that they don't know where they are going to. And you know that this truck is fully loaded. You didn't bother to check what is inside. Is that what you are telling us? Is that what you are telling us? But a truck, a loaded truck coming from probably Bayelsa to Lagos, or from Warri to Lagos, a full loaded truck will be offloaded, and they will discover marijuana that is inside. They will discover it. But a full loaded truck coming from international community, coming from border, you won't bother to check. But the bags of rice that the people from southeast are importing from border will be checked and seized. Bags of rice and other edible commodities imported. Let me say Nigerians, I don't want to say Easterners. They will all be duly checked, investigated, and seized, and probably jail the importer. CDS, we are still listening to you.
You have funded those guys. You are taking care of them equally. We've had several situations like that. So we said, no, it can't continue like that. And that's why we insisted with the state government that, look, the state government must know what's going on. So if any NGO comes, it must be registered. We must monitor what's going on. We've had situations where NGOs will come in with unidentified individuals, entering communities, don't even know what they're doing.
Is this not even annoying? Is this not and this CDS is still serving. Is still serving. But these are the people who will move down to southeast and shoot sporadically, hunt people down and kill them like bush animals. And look, listen to the story. You are now begging the state government, probably El Rufai, and maybe Governor of Zamfara State, because they are the people closer to the border. You will now go and be begging them that please, these people should register. Please, these people, let's start investigating them. But Igbo youths are what you will eradicate without taking permission, without even the state governor knowing that you are there, without prosecuting them. Shoot at sight. But mayhem is going on in your country, and you know that these people causing this mayhem troop in through your territory, through the across the border, and you will see them and you will look the other way around. The next, you go and kneel and begin to beg the governor, please, can we check these people? And you still allow the broken down vehicle to go out empty. And those foreigners that you were claiming, who showed them the route to where they were going? Who showed them where they were going? Of course, somebody was involved. Let's continue.
They don't have NGO ID cards. They are not part of the government. Who is taking them through? What are they going there for? And so by the time we start monitoring what they were doing, we noticed things started getting better. So which means something is going on somewhere. Because they come from all over the world and you don't know who is who. So that's why for every country, please regulate what the NGOs are doing, monitor what they're doing.
Please, who is he advising? I mean, he has finished and he's now advising other countries. Maybe he's advising US or he's advising Canada that denied them visa. Maybe he's advising them to monitor what goes into their country. This is a big shame. Why can't the army be probed? Why can't he ask to be resigned? Why can't he be fired? You are advising other countries when you yourself has not taken to yourself to advise yourself or even to carry out your responsibility. Your obligation is to secure the territory and the country. I believe this media chart is just a show of shame. Shame to Nigerian government, shame to defense authority, and entire combined security team. Is a shame to them for narrating this cock and bull story to harmless civilians who will go for the investigation and who will go to investigate who the foreigners that we are trooping into the country where the defense ministry is being stationed or supposed to be stationed. Is a shame to them. And also we've had let's keep connecting these dots. Let's keep connecting it. Let's hear what the former labor union leader said. I think I'm no longer interested
I'm
in.
telling you that you spent $10 million, and then you wonder where. Most times the money is spent on themselves, on their luxuries, the hotels they stay, the vehicles they're using, and all those things. The locals don't benefit much from them. And yet this thing keeps on. I've told you, somebody will come and pay for a house for 10 years ahead. So what is he trying to tell you? This thing will never end until after 10 years, or maybe he will renew it. And again, I've always remembered that if there is peace and the threat level is low, one, they are going to retrench.
The CDS is now preaching peace. Hmm? He is now preaching peace. So they know that someone will come and pay for a house rent for 10 years. They know. They know who paid the house rent. They know where the house rent was paid. And you never bothered. Why paying for this outrageous house rent? It is now the unarmed civilians that we go for the investigation for the CDS. Let's hear Oshomole.
The primary, he said, Adams, you are worried about the primaries, but what he has seen is far more serious than that. And that the banditry that is evolving or kidnapping neighbors, that those kidnappers, in the first instance, are in the services of very powerful, in his own word, powerful, some powerful rate.
You see, this was when Adam Soshomole came back to reclaim or to disclaim um, what was said or what was being carried by the media, which he never said. In his words, he told how when he was the chairman of APC, a retired general who is a returning officer was submitting a report to him, and he was telling him about these banditries. And in his words, you heard him saying that the retired general said that this banditry, that the people behind the banditry are some, in quotes, retired generals. And also, the chief defense officer told us that there were authorities, powerful people behind these people. Let's continue listening to Shomole.
Retired generals. And the youth chopper, this was a retired general telling me to the illegal side.
Okay, now I believe many of us saw that video of that shopper that they will always use to take foods and arms to the terrorists. Now, Oshomola said that this was what the returning officer, who was a retired general, was telling him. And we all saw that video. I don't know if it's necessary to play it here because I know that we all saw that video. And the CDS said that they use truck, full loaded truck. Are they telling lies? They came by land and they also used to come by air. Now, Where was the or where were the Air Force when these people came into our space? Where were they? And this is what prominent men in the authority are just narrating to the helpless civilians whom the terrorists are maiming on daily basis, killing them, dislodging them from their communities, abducting them, and demanding ransom. And Nigerian government will be quick and willing to pay the ransom.
As they take the mined gold and whatever is it that they're mining, they drop weapons to civilians who have been trained on the use of those weapons to provide protection for the illegal mining activity.
Now you remember that there was a time they told us that they were searching for crude oil in the north. And it was after that time that we began to hear these stories of terrorism in the north. Now, these people, they were coming to mine the resources. As they will come in with money, food, and arms. They will drop it for the people. They will use it to guard them, to protect them, and they will do their minings and they will go. And remember that the minerals in the east is our national resources. Till now, I don't know if the gold in Zamfara has become national resources or Zamfara state's um, resources. Now, these people they collaborate with their state government. They will allow these foreigners who are aiding terrorism in Nigeria to come in, do the mining, and take it and walk away freely. Yet they refuse to call the names of these prominent people, of these powerful men. They refuse to tell us whom they are.
He added that sometimes, of course, they offer that protection, but some other time they divert these arms to now terrorize innocent citizens or sometimes kidnapping. Yeah. And I then said to him, there is no way I can comprehend what he was the story because I have no military training or security training. And I pleaded with him to
Okay. Now, if I should finish up the reports, according to Shemole, he said he asked the retired general to please put what you just told him in writing as a report. And he took it to the then head of president, retired General Muhammadu Buhari, and he said to him, please investigate what this general said. Has Buhari carried out the investigation. So why did he not want to carry out the investigation? And why did the general refuse to mention the names, those behind to Oshomole? Or is it Oshomole that is hiding something from us? Is he that afraid of those powerful men? He's afraid to mention their names. And what is delaying the investigation? Now, if these aids that the US claim to be uh, as a profound impact on humanitarian activities, I want to ask if it is true. Can there be this higher percentage out of school children in the north? Will there be percentage of poverty ravaging the north today if that aid is truly to support countries to upgrade from poverty? It is in the north that today we have the highest number of out of school children. Yet the US or the USAID claims that the support is for lifting children to see them through to school, like children who cannot afford their basic education, to support poor people. So, where are the aids going into? What were they using it for? If the congressman is wrong, now I think another army officer or defense officer was also saying that as at that time, I think this is a recent report that more than 2 million people has been displaced from their homes. More than 2 million people. And when I listened to that, I remembered around 2016, 2017, in my former place of work, and that was Christmas. And that was when I was at Obi Jackson Hospital. And I was just chatting with the gardener. And I say to him, Aboki, you no go travel. December don't come, you're still here. Jokingly. And he was like, oh, you know, he became sober. I was even shocked. He said, no, I am not going to travel back to my state again all through my life. I said, what happened? Where are you from? He said, I am from Borno State, that terrorist has overtaken our state. And I asked him, what is your governor doing about it? He said nothing. That part, before I got that report from media that part of Borno State is being governed by the terrorists, which they don't allow farmers to go through to their farms anymore. They don't allow fishermen to go to river. They don't even allow villagers to come back to their homes. So the man told me that if you're a farmer or a fisherman, that before you go to your farm or to fishing, that you have to pay heavy tax to these terrorists before they will allow you passing. And the governor of Borno State knew this. This was a man from Borno State telling me this, even when the story or the news was not everywhere. Because then they were hiding the story. Just the way they have made the media to continue hiding the menace going on in the north. Because they don't want the world to know. But for how long will they hide it? The congressman has come to expose them. Now, what are they waiting for to carry out the investigation? Rufai, that is always against Trump administration. Why can't he delve into investigation? Bring the CDS to your station. Have a media chat with the former president, with the retired generals. Let them come and tell Nigerians who are these powerful men who are behind this terrorism. And because the Fulani wanted to conquer Nigeria and take over Nigeria, as they say that it belonged to their great-grandfather Osman Danfodio. They want to use terrorism to destroy Nigeria, to kill everyone, and then take over. So, as we keep connecting the dots, the truth is being exposed because Nigerian government cannot hide from it. And also there is investigation that I don't know why Nigerian government have refused to carry out that investigation. There was this report by the US Department of Treasury Office of Access Control around was it around 2021, if I'm correct. Yes, when the Treasury sanctioned 6 individuals for raising funds in supporting Boko Haram. Their names were listed out. About 6 of them. I think one was Salihu one was Ali Yusuf, one was Salihu Yusuf Adamu, and the one that changed his name, Ibrahim Isa to Isa Pantami, or if all were his name. Why didn't Nigerian government investigate that report made available by UAE? Why have they not done the investigation? And we remember that what Buhari did then was to use Isa Pantami to make him a minister of digital digital economy, information and digital economy. And you know what happened? For them to be too clever, because they are clever in deceiving the citizenry, just like the way they have thought they are fast now, that the army has just come to begin to tell us the number of terrorists they have killed this, they have killed that, they have decimated this, because they think they want to play smart, because they have been busted by the congressman. What Isa Pantami did quickly was to introduce NIN. That was when NIN was introduced. that they want to use it to track and trace banditry. And tell me, all through the administration of Buhari and Issa Pantami, how many terrorists were being tracked down through their SIM card? How many of them? What they did was to begin to monitor the calls from the southeast. They monitor us both on WhatsApp, on different calls. That's what they used it for. They begin to pick our people at random. They begin to record our voices. How many terrorists were being tracked down? Even to use bank accounts details to track them down. They did not do it. Let Nigerian government investigate this accusation by the congressman and tell Nigerians who are behind terrorism in Nigeria. It started from Boko Haram to herdsmen to bandits to Lakurawa or whatever. And this will show you that as long as these people has been infiltrated into the army, you see, that was the reason or the purpose for that Canadian visa denial, because the world authority knew that Nigerian government is a terrorist government and their army is a terrorist army. So they don't want infiltrators. So they should purge themselves because the world already knew. Even when the National Security Advisor, Nuhu was trying to send them to hell, he's only tarnishing his image and the image of Nigerian government. Now, they cannot participate anywhere the world power is having anything to do with the rest of the world. They were not invited during inaugural ceremony of the US current president, Donald Trump. And now they're crying up and down for denying them Canada visa. How do you think that you want to be there when the world know that you are infiltrated? And because they have stopped the aid, the army is now running up and down, trying to crack down on hundreds or thousand terrorists in a second without showing us the ammunition they claim they collected back from the terrorists, without revealing to us the bodies of the hundreds or thousands of terrorists they decimated in 1 second. I mean, and you see, as the army is making this claim, so the reports are coming about the kidnap of the army officers at the same time. And they also the bombardment in the army camps. So who is deceiving who here? I think the best thing for Nigeria to do is simply accept the request of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. I think it's very simple because already, since the army is infiltrated, we no longer have confidence in our security men. We no longer have confidence. The country has become so porous, it has become so insecure, amongst other things. So, how can I remain in a country that I'm not secured in the hands of the security authority? I mean, how can you place your enemy as your gate man at your gate? How can you go in and sleep with your two eyes? It's not possible. So, I mean, it is very simple. If you say you are going for a regional government, you are free to do so. But all Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB is requesting is a referendum because we don't want to be sharing our compounds, our towns and villages with terrorists. We are no longer interested. And you see, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started hammering on this, and when he will call Nigerian government a terrorist government or a terrorist Nigerian army, it will seem, some will say he used to hallucinate, that he talks too much. But today, everybody is seeing it. What the congressman is saying, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has talked about it years before, or years ago, not just years before. Even the current vice president of Nigeria, we saw the video, it is everywhere, you can't deny it. Visiting the terrorists in their camps, and these are the people as your authority, as your government. And are the people that will come and tell us they don't know international conspiracy, they don't know the powerful people behind it. When you are dining and whining with the terrorists. So, why not just let us go? And then go ahead with your terrorism. It's the same army personnel that will tell us that these people, they are trying to repatriate them into the community. I mean, I don't even understand. I think they are the people hallucinating instead of saying that it's the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that hallucinates. You will say that you have decimated army, terrorists. You will tell us that people deserted their communities. You will tell us that hey, people are now coming back. People have started accepting the terrorism. I mean, is that not insane? You will be the people to repatriate them into the army. And after repatriating them into the army, you want to go to Canada. Go to Canada now. Move to Canada. And tomorrow you will still run out to deny. that the terrorists were never repatriated into the army. But the news, the video is everywhere. The evidence is everywhere. If you are not a terrorist army, go to Canada, let us see. So, Nigerian government should do herself good by simply setting up a referendum committee that the international community has to monitor and let the referendum be conducted. Despite the fact that they have polarized the southeastern economy by using the southeast politicians and the governors to also terrorize our people, because all they wanted is to Fulanize our land. So, with this exposure and other things that are happening, we make Nigeria to understand that you cannot continue bashing a broken calabash, because the center is already broken. It can no longer hold. There is no need bashing it. It is needless. So, I mean, why not just share the cake? You remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have told you that Biafrans, you are not interested in these resources of a thing that make you to continue holding us. Our people on our own, we are resourceful, and we have the resource manpower. We are not feeding from that oil. We are not surviving from that oil. We are not building mansions and businesses with that oil. How many people from the southeast owe oil well in Nigeria? How many? How many of them are being paid, even with those people with the oil wells in their family compounds? How many of them benefit from that? How many of them do survive from that? And Mazi Nnamdi can say it, we will give you this oil free. We will give it to you free, but simply let us go. Nigerians are fed up. Even the ones claiming to be diehard one Nigerianist. It is no longer funny to them. It is getting harder every day. And Nigeria has, corrupted to that stage that, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us in 2019, but they did not want to believe that, hi, look, your voter's card is useless, that your voter's card did not determine who wins the election unless the INEC decides. So, if you couldn't vote out corrupt people in 2023, is it in 2027 that you are warming up to vote them out? Probably the result for 2027 is already there. Probably even in that US. Because one thing about all these people, as this administration have come now to expose what the agency has been doing or how they have been sponsoring terrorism. You will think that they are just exposing them to fight for your good. It is not true. It is not true. It's just a means to also to establish their own agency. Don't think that they are coming to do anything good for you. Lie, as far as The West is concerned. As far as British is concerned, sorry, Britain is concerned, they are not coming to do anything good. They are just coming to expose the one that is there and then displace that one and then use their own. Probably they have someone they want to bring in 2027. Who knows? And they've started exposing these ones so that they will use it to oust them. So don't be rejoicing and thinking that these people they are bringing anything good for you. No, the only good thing that can come to me and you is referendum. That's the only good thing that can come to me and you, because they are all interested in our resources. France is interested, Europe is interested, America is interested. So don't not think that they are just coming to, oh, these people, they will fight. They will devise another means. And that is why they don't want to get involved. They block their ears from our cries. People were shot in 2016, and some of them are still in prison because of President Trump. They went to celebrate him. Are you telling me that President Trump is not aware or have not heard that Igbos are in prison because they came to celebrate his winning as American president? I love President Trump. I support him. Honestly, I do. Honestly, I love him. But the West, to black man, they have nothing good for you. They have nothing good for you. People were locked up. People were killed. People were thrown into borrow pits because of President Donald Trump. As they are exposing the agency, they should as well expose the governments that killed our people unjustly, that killed the armless citizens, defenseless civilians. They killed us, they jailed us, they imprisoned us, and they are not seeing that. They are not hearing our cries for referendum. All they are coming for is to grab the resources that belong to Africa that they shared in 1856 during the Berlin Conference. Because God, maybe God who made us like animals and God made them humans, then we have no right to freedom. Why is the world keeping quiet? Mazi is a British citizen. Britain fights for their citizens anywhere they are, but they cannot fight for Mazi Nnamdi. It doesn't take America 6 minutes to rescue their personnel from Boko Haram den in Borno and Zamfara, but it's taking them millennium to speak for innocent Biafrans. Why is it taking them this long? We will continue sending our messages to Donald Trump. We continue sending messages to the world. And we continue sending messages to Nigerian government that all we need is nothing but referendum. We are not interested in their resources. We are not interested in their terrorism. We are not interested in whatever. But all we ask is referendum. Let Nigerian army depart southeast and leave us alone. Today, army general has been kidnapped and they are demanding 20 million naira ransom. 20 million. 20 million. And tomorrow they will tell us that they have repented and they now give them guns and bullets and give them army uniform. Probably place them at the border to safeguard their territory. Nigerian government must understand that no matter and how long they want to patch that broken calabash, it is broken, it is broken. There is nothing you can do about it. So just do the needful. You can keep on incarcerating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and other armless Igbo youths. The couple who were kidnapped by Nigerian army, um, Mr. and Mrs. Ifedi, yeah, since 2021, have not been cited anywhere till this moment. Even the IPOB legal team has done everything possible to at least see where this couple are. We've not seen them. They have not set their eyes on them. As well as Ikechukwu Henry also, whom they kidnapped from Enugu State. Obasi also, and so many of them. So many of them. We are not terrorists, and we are not terrorizing anyone because we've not gone to anybody's territory to intrude or to cause mayhem. We're there just in our God's given land, just making a request that is legit, that is constitutional. Keeping the Muslim Nnamdi Kanu in perpetual detention will not solve the problem, and I believe the Nigerian government already knew that. They already knew. Detain one Muslim Nnamdi Kanu and thousands of Muslim Nnamdi Kanu will emerge. Destroy 10 Muslim Nnamdi Kanu and millions of Muslim Nnamdi Kanu will emerge. So, let the needful be done accordingly, and everybody can find peace. Before I'll be rounding up this program, I also want to once again draw the attention of our people in what is going on both in Imo State and Anambra State. I'm sure most of you have seen the latest discovery made by our gallant men. You know, because IPOB established ESN and stationed them in the bushes. Now the criminals in the land took advantage of that, and they now pitch their camps everywhere in the bush. Oh, so that once you are caught in the bush, oh, come on, it's IPOB, it's ESN. But thank God that gradually the truth is coming out. Gradually, the truth is coming out. Even today in Imo State, everyone knew that ESN does not have their camp anywhere in Imo State. But the criminals who are IPOB in disguise are inside those bushes. And some of them are government agents who have taken to destroy our people, destroy the agitation. Because all they are trying to make sure is that they demonize IPOB so that no one can talk about Biafra again. But it is not true. We will continue talking about Biafra, the unborn children. We will continue talking about Biafra. You know, our people will say, "No one ife ntị na-ata gwụrụ na ntị anara ezu ike." If we did not achieve our aim, we will not relent. So, for what is going on in Anambra State today, Charles Soludo inaugurated his security outfit, or do I call them militia wing? Yes, we've been calling on Charles Soludo to fight the insecurity in the states. Mana ọ bụrụzi n'isi onye nwere ife ome ka a ga-eji wee chụọ aja. Why going after innocent people? Please, Charles Soludo should monitor the security men that he inaugurated and make sure that there is no injustice, that the security men are not being used after innocent people. Do not use it for political gains or political interest, but use it for the interest of Anambrarians. Because for sure, evil must be eradicated in our land. Thanks to Kikabiama that, at least of recent, we've not seen many of them being caught that is being IPOB or ESN. Both the ones being caught in different camps. Look at this camp that ESN just discovered. You see number of stolen vehicles, shallow graves everywhere. If my own person has not been killed by these criminals, I won't understand. But my own person has been killed by them. And they took his vehicle as well. They took him to Osu. And today we've not been able to recover his body. You see the organ harvesting. You know, our youths, they are graduating from one crime to another. You know, when that criminal in Finland infiltrated our land, they started by stealing. They graduated from stealing to Okite, from Okite to kidnapping, now to organ harvesting. No more Yahoo. Our youth, our land must be emancipated from all these crimes so that by the time we become a nation, our land shall be free from immorality and societal decadence. Let us all join hands to fight insecurity, to fight injustice, continue speaking for our leader, no matter how long they decided to keep him. A day must come, we shall be, or we shall become a free people. And here I'll be bringing this program to an end, but I will not forget that we are sympathizing with the families of Pa Ayo Adebanjo, who was the leader of Afenifere that gave up at the age of 96. We understood how he worked so hard for his people, and as a leader, we sympathize with his family, and we send our condolences also to the family of late Pa Edwin Clark, who was also a leader of Pandef that also gave up the ghost at the age of 97. We understood their contributions to humanity and to Nigeria at large. And I still remain one of the Jovi Star Chichi as I say thank you to all our viewers for staying with us until I come your way again. Goodbye.
The bricks. Something. Oh na 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 na. Watch it out. Watch me far away, see me far away. Shabada, tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have, because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, so go let to pretend. Do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I am. Ohaneze Ndigo, how na day? I don't come to speak my mind with no delay. Let them know say una eyes clear about our way. Watch out. Many things they happen in that country you dey. So some people trouble upon people every day. Even when you dey, you go talk say you know dey. I need to understand why this one about. I need to understand why this truth apart. The promise that we got and nationalize. The promise we will live and no complaints. Watch me far away. Watch me far away. See me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Oh, make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see. Yeah, unless you have the sense. Oh, you go learn to pretend. Oh, do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I thought. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I know. Samada, ta ta ta, cake samado, boomba. See, I come back again to tell people say, now here we dey, we don't come to stay. I say no retreat, no surrender. We're living big, but no arrange. Look at the soldiers killing innocent Biafrans every day. Look at Islam is killing innocent Christians every day. It depends me, it depends me, it depends me. Chukwuoki Kobiama, Bateranyo say Yemaka, Bateranyo say Yemaka. I know Ginaka, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I know, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mohamadike one, Biafra nine, Ayisigi Gabaniru, Onyaka ya Docha, Weli Feneme, Onyena ya Nejuno Yine, Juku kwa Mawaja, you are whiter than snow, Oku Gibesioku, we stand where you stand, we say no secret trial. Onyinye Chukwu Ezosika Osiki Ohamadike, no secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young Osiki Ohamadike, Osiki Jisike Mazus Ejike Kole Osiki. One day Buje Bije, Sikwa, no well if a name, no well if an affair, no well if an actor. Is one name Victor Chimezie Okorochuku Igbo Network Television London Osiki Jisike na hakugi nazu Biafra nile gedine nuwa Asiki Gabaniru, no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial. Hey! Watch me far away, see me far away. Tell me what you saw, I will show you what I have. Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense.
sense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to be.